Like I prefer the bird, not the chocolate. Trying to lose some weight.
Oh, I prefer the chocolate.
There's a lot of barbecue up here, Connor. I went to a buffet that was all you could eat with ribs, fried chicken, barbecue, and sides that you thought there was just a grandma in the back churning them out. And I left there. I was injured. I definitely left there injured this weekend.
I had some barbecue yesterday to celebrate Memorial Day.
Little Four Rivers.
No, little Costco.
Oh,
We
Costco.
did picked up a package of Costco burn-ins, and Betsy made a pretty amazing batch of mac and cheese, and we just went nuts. We watched Terminator. Betsy had never seen Terminator before, so we did the double header, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, with mac and cheese and burnt-end sandwiches.
Has she seen Jaws yet?
Betsy has not seen Jaws. Remember, she is afraid of fish.
All right.
So she's afraid of fish and gratuitous violence.
Josh has a fish and gratuitous violence. It is definitely both of those things. And the block
And
and
that
the
was
rebound.
almost real silky smooth there from J Kid.
Almost.
So almost, but you know what they say, almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. But Wilt Chamberlain was nervous there by the presence of Jason Kidd.
Drive the lane.
That's why when he
Drive the
got in the
lane. Break the
paint,
play up. Drive the lane. Okay. Doc Rivers did give a good take on the bench when he was doing a timeout last night. He said he's like the play's gonna break, whatever. You just have to keep playing basketball. It's like, man, this is some good coaching. Speak.
sometimes it's as easy as that.
It was some pretty good stuff. Speaking of coaching, someone's been going through some workout reps and got a little film time. Pat McAfee broke it down, but Tim Tebow, there's a little bit of tight end film out there. Have you seen this footage, Connor?
Tim Tebow with his biceps for days, I sure have.
So besides him doing the keto diet really well, what did you think of watching Tebow do a little tight end reps?
You know, it's early. It's he still has yet to make the team. He's still, we're still way early to be talking about all that. I think reps on air is one thing, and catching the ball maybe with no shoulder pads, but in kind of a perimeter 7-on-7 type situation is another thing. But as there's still a lot of time to tell that story for sure. The interesting thing about Tim Tebow, though, is I read an article actually, and some of the big criticisms about Tebow. Have been a lot of big criticisms about Tebow, but I think one of the interesting ones really was that he is not quieting all the kind of hate for him. He's not coming out. He's not, and I don't know the best way how to do this, but he's being as Tebow is continuing to do his tight end deal. He's not. He's always known for saying the right thing when he's in the spotlight, and I think he's having an issue, sort of not being in the spotlight, but not quite knowing what to say. And in some ways, I think a little bit more of Tebow, the interviewer, could be a little bit less in terms of him being able to diffuse situations.
Yeah, you haven't really heard of him a lot. Seems to be very under the wire. I think he's just trying to get on the roster and not worry about that. And because remember when he was in New England, it was so much of a zoo that Bill Belichick. I think that's why they cut him. I mean, I know it was obviously play and other stuff, but once Bill Belichick had like one Tim Tebow interview fiasco, I'm sure he just went in the office until yeah, Tebow he's got to go.
We
Too
can't have
much,
this.
too much talk going on. We gotta
Too much.
like him,
The
but
T in
Tim's
Tebow
got to leave.
stands for too much talk.
Too much talk. Electrifying college football player, controversial topic of an NFL quarterback, whatever. But either way, someone who's a little bit more productive, who we know how good they are, is Julio Jones. And of course, Julio Jones came out and said on TV, on the phone with Atlanta, I'm out of there. And there's been many teams that have been talks. There's been the Patriots have been a big one. I saw a little bit of Seahawks stuff on Twitter, which I think that would be amazing to see Tyler Lockett and Julio Jones and DK Metcalf. Let Russell cook. But What Julio Jones stuff have you picked up out there?
Did you see that there is a chance that Shannon Sharp broke the California wiretapping laws because he didn't declare that he was on air?
No, and who's the co-host on that show? It used to be on ESPN forever.
Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless.
Yeah, Skip Bayless tried to cover for him. I watched that clip. He's like, say we're on air. Say it. Say you're on the phone.
Yeah, that was a big. I'm sure that was. I'm sure it was all staged, but that still, because it was a big time blunder. Like, just because it's staged doesn't mean that someone couldn't get really mad about that, and even potentially press charges. I know Shannon tries to be nice and fun and cheeky on the show, and it's all a good time, but I mean that's the wiretapping law. So I think that there are some issues there to work through. I think that in terms of the Seahawks, I'm gonna throw this back at you, Rutledge, and I'm gonna ask: is this what the Seahawks need? They have Tyler Lockett, they have DK Metcalf, they played they picked with their first pick the they picked the wide receiver. I'm forgetting he played really well in the Senior Bowl, but do they need Julio Jones? If Pete Carroll keeps on electing to run the ball and play defense, and the defense still gives up 45 points a game because that's what the Seahawks defense has done in the back end lately. Could there be some personality issues there for something that's not even guaranteed in terms of Russell Wilson's future?
That one's gonna be. I think it would be a personality thing of. I don't think there'd be personality issues because Julio Jones doesn't come out and talk out a lot. He's not like the biggest personality issue was, of course, Terrell Owens. Do Seattle need him? No, they need offensive line and protection from Russell Wilson. If you have a receiver like Julio Jones, is it going to spread out what Russell wants to do in the downfield and like throw deep balls and do that moon throw pass that he loves to do? Yeah. It's not going to be, good players make good plays on the field. Well, if you have another receiver that he can throw to, it'll go good. And Russell Wilson's one opportunity, as someone who's watched a lot of Russell Wilson play, is when the play breaks down and he doesn't see where to go, he's either going to throw the route that was intended or he's going to force it to whoever his favorite target is. Whether that's Tyler Lockett, it was Doug Baldwin for a while, but usually his interceptions are he gets nervous, he gets desperate, and he throws it to someone that he doesn't need to throw it to. So I think to have that extra target of just, hey, here's my release valve, in Julio Jones, and while Julio Jones isn't like a release, like a 2-yard release valve, at least you have another piece added to the puzzle, and it'll make defenses have to figure it out.
I was going to ask, did you just call Julio Jones a check down guy?
He is not a check down guy.
Wow, that's big time. That's a hot take.
Julio Jones is definitely not your check down receiver. Is he going to have to go somewhere where he's going to have to be the star? That depends on Julio Jones, right? Or does Julio Jones just, he's set records, he's done stuff, he just wants to win, is what I keep hearing. So let the man win. Let him go out there and make some catches. I say put him on a team where he's a system. Go in the NBA route for your receiver core. Just put a bunch of really good guys together. See how it goes.
So, do the Madden thing.
Do the Madden thing.
Where you get all the best guys on the team.
I mean, that depends on coaching. I don't think the Madden thing works, but as we saw with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you have the coaching staff to support it, then it'll work out.
There's little quotes that Bruce Arian comes out with from time to time, just like little quips that he says, and he knows how to lead a team of NFL players. That's for sure. He would, especially at this stage in his career. I don't think he'd be a good college coach, but he knows how to coach NFL guys.
So it could work out in Seattle, but there's also talks about him going to Baltimore. There's just a bunch of people that are excited for the possibility of playing with Julio.
Oh yeah. So as we get down to the business end of the game here, Rutledge, any Justin Herbert news?
Connor, I know you love to talk about Justin Herbert, and I gave all my man crush points out last week. So what do you have?
The best piece that I have is just some info from Brandon Staley, who was talking about just how quickly Justin Herbert is. Oh, that's all right, hack a Shack though.
You're gonna
Just how
send
quick.
Shaq to the foul line? That's not fair.
Hey, you've got literally the best team in this game, so I think I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Uh, no, Justin Herbert is he's picking up the offense really well, so that's good. I think that the big thing, I just hope it works out for him, because if he, let's say it doesn't work out, they pull, the ownership has a quick trigger and they change the offense, give Justin Herbert another offense. We're talking about really 4 offenses in 4 years, right? Because if you count the one he had his senior year of Oregon, then you count the one he had as a rookie, and now year 2 is a different offense. I think that you have to really, really start to think about being giving this guy some continuity. So
Yeah, he's got to get some. He's got to get some time. He's got to get settled. You would hate for the system that he's in and the unfairness of learning all these playbooks to be what ruins his legacy as a quarterback. But that can only be forgiven for so long. Who knows? Maybe maybe he gets traded to Jacksonville and gets to hang out with Urban Meyer, and then we're both closer to seeing him in person. I know that they've got Trevor Lawrence.
I
And they
would
just
not be a
drafted.
fan of that.
No, he's who knows.
No. But so Rutledge. By the way, what else? What else did you do during Memorial Day besides go to the store and get go to the restaurant to get all the sides cooked up by the grandma?
Oh, we did a low country boil. For not those familiar with that is, that's the shrimp, sausage, corn, some potatoes. We bought some crab legs and put it in there, a little Dungeness crab. Cooked that in a big pot, let that stir up. That was really good. Ate that, and then I turned in some leftovers in that. Overall, it was a really good Memorial Day weekend. I got to spend some time with the wife, got to get some sunshine, sit outside. It was warm in Georgia, but not unbearably hot in Florida. And that was about your Memorial Day, Connor. You said you ate some barbecue, some macaroni and cheese. What was Betsy's
Did
favorite
some.
scene out of Terminator?
Betsy loved when all the lines were being said. So, like the first time when Arnold said, "Come with me if you want to live," that was really, really. She loved that. I'll be back. She loved that. The other fun thing that we did was watch the Universal Studios Terminator show that they used to have. So we did that. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, I remember that show. That was
But
You and I were there. We went to that together during its like last week. We saw it together
oh yeah,
against its little last week of time. And then after that, we got rained on. We ate ice cream.
oh yeah. Hey, hot breaking news while we're waiting for this timeout to. I think if you hit circle, if you're done being the coach, that should finish that out.
I'm making some
John,
adjustments. Don't I am
John
being the coach over
Beeline,
here.
John Beeline to be the new head coach of the Pistons.
Oh, any quick takes on that? I have none. I mean, he's a guy.
He's already had a chance in the NBA and he hasn't done well, but that's kind of how NBA coaches go. All these professional leagues, you get a couple. Once you break into the head coaching ranks, you get a couple shots. So maybe it'll work out. He is the quote Michigan man.
Oh, the Michigan man.
That's like Jim Harbaugh.
When is
Jim
that?
Harbaugh is going to have a longer leash for Michigan football because he's the quote Michigan man.
Maybe one day that curse of Michigan will be broken and they actually hire a real coach who's going to win the real championships. But then again, that's what makes college football college football, the beautiful convoluted game, as I like to think of it. 2, 1,
Good game, Rutledge.
bam.
Back on top.
back on top. It only took me being probably the best game in NBA 2K to beat Connor by 7 points and only score 62.